The survey of our customers show that 50% of the downtime events that they're experiencing are not due to equipment failure, but instead it's due to human factor. So the main obstacles for them to actually meet their production targets, or among the main obstacles, we've got poor operator training. We do have the non-adherence to the SOPs, so not following the right SOPs. And the third point is actually the turnover and the lack of skilled technicians. So at ATS, we thought, how can we actually tackle that? Because we can improve the equipment as much as we want. We don't have visibility on that, and it's a black spot for us, it's a black spot for the customer. So we've decided to start developing a solution which are a full GXP, FDA compliant software solution based around digital step-by-step instructions. So I'll show you a little bit of that. There is 3 main applications that we have there. The first one is really with those digital step-by-step instructions, we can actually create very appealing and effective training when we deliver our equipment. So we'll grab the best knowledge for the most complicated station and make sure that all of that is ready and is prepared for sharing with the customer, and not only in the beginning when he received the equipment, but also 3 months later, 6 months later, 8 months later, when he's got another technician, another team, a further turnover. The second application is just following the work instructions, right? So nowadays the work instructions are paper-based, so you can only put it at the machine quite often, or it's a PDF, and you don't want to have a ton of paper. The operator of our customer will not read those, right? You need to have the minimum just to make sure you've got the essence of the information. But then you do have to have a certain amount of skills to handle those, and you're also missing a lot of information that you could be sharing. So we'll be providing digital work instructions that will allow our customer to have all the standard work instructions digitalized with interactive content. May you want to do a batch start, a batch stop, a product changeover, a line clearance. And the very last use case and application that we see, and one of the most important, is troubleshooting. With all the know-how that we have, we can identify the top 30 faults and the top most complicated station that we know will be the more challenging to our customers. We'll actually take those and we'll put them into our tool, and you will have a troubleshooting tree that will allow, in case of an event, of an issue, to have a clear path for resolution. So instead of, let's say, in the middle of the night, you've got a night shift, you may not have very skilled personnel at that point of time, waiting for 4 hours that the more skilled technicians comes in, you actually have the ability to guide the person with that tool, and without her having a fear to damage something and being able to restart the production. So let's show you that specific case that we have here. We do have a trigger on the HMI. We've just had an error, that error 225 machine to workstation 4. So we automatically start a task in our digital companion, and that will lead us to the troubleshooting really related to that task. So we could first go to the equipment and make sure we're in the right place by just scanning the NFC tag that is there. Everything is audit trail, is captured, and we have any information available that we can actually use afterwards, making sure that any resolution has been captured. We'll have a very simple path for resolution. We can have very complex topics that we need to do. We could have a replacement of a robot. We could have a setting up of a vision system. And we have a step-by-step guide that will allow us to understand with pictures interactively, simple information, showing us where to look at, what to consider, and with simple questions, very clearly understand, do we have a problem? If a problem is identified, we can actually make sure that the issue is being captured and being shared with the manager, or with whoever else we want to make sure it's captured. We can send pictures that are completing this report. So we'll have to send something here to make sure this has, we can go to the next step. And we have the ability to put interactive items. It can be a short video that we will be showing, making sure that we have an easy way and a very visual way for the technician, the operator to move forward. So going through those, we can obviously have several steps, and we can use different possibilities of using OCR recognition. We can have QR codes that will be placed in the right position, in the right places, where we could actually call those digital work instructions. We could connect this to the CMMS. So if we want to have preventive maintenance, we can make sure that any preventive maintenance item is actually being sent and created as a task for the operator or the technician. And we actually also have the ability, once we've gone through the different tasks, we can have a remote call, direct connection to either our internal, let's say, technical team at the customer site, or we can have a direct connection to ATS, and then can support you remotely with a video, looking at your screen, getting the report or what have been done, making sure we actually know right away what is the equipment we're talking about, what is the problem, what is the station, and what has been done so far. And with that, we can share on the screen what is going to be, what is important, and support you fully in your operations.